Welcome to Middle School Academic Derby. I'm Brent Anderson, and I'll be your moderator for today's match between the Falcons from Trexler Middle School and the Knights from Jacksonville Commons Middle School. Let's get started by introducing our teams. First, we're going to meet our team from Jacksonville Commons Middle School, coached by Amanda Allen.
My name is Nathan, and I'm in the 8th grade.
Ivan, 8th grade.
Francesca, 6th grade.
Joshua, 7th grade.
And now our team from Trexler Middle School, coached by Susan Rogers.
Riley Stone, 7th grade.
Azil Solomon, 6th grade.
Caroline Cubis, 6th grade. Samantha Anthony, 8th grade.
Right now in our first round, we're going to ask 7 questions to each team. If the first team does not answer, the second team will have a chance at the same question. After the first team has heard all their questions and had a chance to answer, the second team will have the same opportunity. We're going to begin with our team on the top row, which is our team from Trexler Middle School. So Trexler, go ahead and get your buzzers ready. And as always, please remember to wait until I call your name to give us an answer and speak nice and clear and loud so we can hear you. All right, your first question, Trexler, is a general trivia question. Identify the 3 U.S. states whose names are composed of exactly 4 letters. All right, nobody there. Jacksonville Commons? All right, the 3 states are Iowa, Ohio, and Utah, each having 4 letters. All right, next we have a math question for you, Trexler. And it may involve some computation. It's more of a math terms question, but I'll read the question twice and you have a little extra time to come up with an answer. 1, 4, 9, 16, and 25 begin this list of special numbers whose square roots are whole numbers. What 2-word adjective phrase is used to describe this type of number? So again, 1, 4, 9, 16, and 25 begin this list of special numbers whose square roots are whole numbers. What 2-word adjective phrase is used to describe this type of number? Samantha.
Perfect squares.
That is correct. All right, your next question is an English question. In the sentence, running is Anna's favorite sport, as what part of speech does the gerund function? All right, Jacksonville Commons. All right, that functions as the subject. All right, our next is a geography question, Trexler. A flat tableland with steep sides. This landform shares its name with a Spanish word that translates similarly. Identify this term that begins with the letter M. Samantha.
Mesa.
Mesa is correct. All right. Next, we have a science question. Identify the bodily system made up of the skin, hair, nails, and sweat glands whose major function is to provide a barrier to protect the body. All right, Jacksonville Commons. All right, that is the integumentary system. Next, we have a literature question. In this book by Carl Hyacin, Roy, who is new to his small Florida community, becomes involved in another boy's attempt to save a colony of burrowing owls from a proposed construction site. Name this novel with a 1-word title. Samantha.
Hoot.
Hoot is correct. All right, and our final question for this round, Trexler, is a history question. Place the following U.S. presidents in order from earliest to most recent. William Howard Taft, James Garfield, Franklin Pierce. Jacksonville Commons? All right, the correct order for those presidents would be Franklin Pierce, James Garfield, and William Howard Taft. All right, we're going to move now to our team from Jacksonville Commons for your questions, and we're going to start you guys off with a math question. And again, we'll read it twice and have a little extra time to come up with an answer. What fractional part of an hour is 180 seconds? Again, what fractional part of an hour is 180 seconds? Nathan.
1/20th.
That is correct. All right, next we have a science question for you. The gastropods, cephalopods, and bivalves are all members of which biological phylum? Hint, the correct response begins with the letter M. Okay, Trexler? Hazel?
Mollusks.
Mollusks is correct. All right. Next, we have a sports question for you, Jacksonville Commons. What acrobatic name is given to a cheerleader who is chosen to be tossed or lifted in stunts? Caroline?
Flyer.
That is correct. All right, we have an English question for you now. In the sentence, all 12 of the country's flags were on display for the parade. What is the correct spelling and punctuation of the word countries? Okay, nobody? Trexler? All right, it would be COUNTRIES apostrophe. Next, we have a history question for you, Jacksonville Commons. Although this American applied for a patent in 1793, it was not validated until 1807. Name this inventor whose creation allowed farmers to turn a profit on labor-intensive cotton. All right, Trexler? Samantha?
Eli Whitney.
That is correct. And the invention was the cotton gin. All right. Our next question for you, Jacksonville Commons, is a literature question. The debut novel of American author Ransom Riggs. This novel tells the tale of a boy who, following a horrific family tragedy, follows clues that take him to an abandoned orphanage on a Welsh island. Name this work of literature that uses a combination of narrative and photographs in its plot developments. Nope, this question is for Jacksonville Commons. Jacksonville Commons? Okay, Samantha.
Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
That is correct. Okay. Next, we have a geography question. It's the final question for this round. The city of Duluth lies at the western end of this great lake that is separated from Lake Huron and Lake Michigan by the upper peninsula of the state of Michigan. Name this great lake that is also the largest of the five. Ivan.
Lake Superior.
That is correct. All right, and that's the end of our first round, and we'll be right back with our score after this break.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Welcome back to Middle School Academic Derby. After our first round, our score is Jacksonville Commons 4 and Trexler Middle School 14. We're going to now move into our bonus round where either team may buzz in and answer the question. If the question is answered correctly, there will be 4 bonus questions asked in which the answer must be given to the captain of the team. We have some new team members, so let's introduce them now, beginning with our team from Jacksonville Commons.
Yasmin and Daya from the 6th grade.
Wyatt Revis, 8th grade.
Frank DeVore, 7th grade.
Morgan Lancaster, 8th grade.
And now our new players from Trexler Middle School.
Willie Miracle, 6th grade.
Tyler Martin, 8th grade.
Haley Futrell, 8th grade.
Kayla Selby, 7th grade.
All right. Now, Wyatt, you're the captain for your team, and Haley, you're the captain for your team. All right, so let's go ahead and pick up our buzzers, and we will begin this first round with an English toss-up question. Give the three principal parts of the verb to rise. All right, that would be rise, rose, and risen. All right, next we have a math toss-up question, and I will tell you this is a mathematics term. It does not involve any computation on this one, so listening closely. Use two arithmetic operations in the correct order to complete the wise saying related to converting one unit to another in a math or science problem. Quote, when changing a smaller unit to a larger unit, blank. But if you are changing a larger unit into a smaller unit, blank. Wyatt?
Distribute.
No, that's not correct. Trexler? All right. When you're doing the first part, you want to divide, but if you're doing the second part, you want to multiply. Okay. All right, next we have a history toss-up question for you. Who served as President Bill Clinton's vice president from 1993 to 2001? All right, that is Al Gore. Al Gore was the vice president under President Bill Clinton. All right, next we have a geography toss-up for you. Among the continents, which one is surrounded by the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans? Wyatt?
Africa.
That's incorrect. Tyler?
Australia.
Incorrect also. Antarctica. Antarctica is surrounded by all three. Got to go way down to the bottom. All right, next we have a science question for you. A mineral's ability to split evenly along a smooth surface is known by what 8-letter science term? That term is cleavage. Cleavage. Next, we have a literature question for you. In Greek mythology, who was the wife of Zeus? Wyatt?
Hera.
Hera is correct. All right, Jacksonville Commons, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify each god or goddess from Greek mythology. Number 1, goddess of the harvest. Number 2, winged horse. Number 3, goddess of love. And number 4, spirit of victory. Okay, what?
Number 1, we got Demeter. Number 2, we have Pegasus. Number 3 is Aphrodite. Number 4 is Nike.
And those are all correct. Congratulations on that one. All right, we're going to move now to our next toss-up question, which is an English question for you. In the sentence, "You're the best speller I know," what is the correct spelling of the word "your"? Michaela.
You don't. Y-O-U''re.
Okay, we'll give you that, and that is correct. All right. Trexler, here are your 4 bonus questions. Spell the indicated word in each sentence that I read. Number 1, do you know who's in charge of the dance? Spell whose. Number 2, the principal said you must send a note to excuse my absence. Spell principal. Number 3, it's 15 degrees below zero outside. Spell it's. And number 4, they're at the mall shopping just now. Spell there. All right, Haley, whenever you're ready.
For 1, we have WHOSE.
For 2, we have PRINCIPAL. For 3, we have IT''S. For 4, we have THEY''RE.
Number 2, 3, and 4 were correct. Wyatt, do you have anything for number 1?
Yes. WHO''S.
That is correct. All right. Going to move next to our next toss-up question, which is a literature toss-up question. This book and its sequels were influenced by Welsh mythology. In it, the Horned King battles a young assistant pig keeper named Taran. Name this young adult fantasy novel by Lloyd Alexander. Wyatt.
Tale of Crispus?
That's incorrect. Trexler? All right, the novel is The Book of Three. The Book of Three. Next, we have a geography toss-up question for you. Native to the Australian continent, these dark-skinned inhabitants have been credited, what?
Aborigines.
Aborigines is correct. All right, Jacksonville Commons. And you saved me from having to pronounce the name of the musical instrument that they are credited with creating. All right, now Jacksonville Commons, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify each of the following related to Australia. Number 1, large rock sacred to the native Australians. Number 2, island that lies off the southern Australian coast, known for its vast, rugged wilderness areas. Number 3, Australian city known as the City of Churches. And number 4, British captain who originally sighted Australia and claimed it for the British. Okay, what?
We don't have anything for number 1. Number 2, we got New Zealand. Number 3, we got New Wales. And we got nothing for number 4.
Okay. Unfortunately, none of those are correct. All right, Haley, do you have anything for any of them?
For 1, we have Myers Rock. For 2, we have Tanzania. And for 3, we have Melbourne. And nothing for 4.
Okay. Can you tell me number 1 again?
Myers.
Okay, I'm afraid that's incorrect, but number 2 was correct. So Tasmania was the island that we're looking for there. Ayers Rock, not Myers, but Ayers Rock was the one we're looking for number 1. Adelaide for number 3, and James Cook for number 4. Okay. All right, going next to another geography type toss-up question for you. And this question is this: which U.S. state is bordered by the Mississippi River on its west and Indiana on its east? Okay. Oh, Wyatt, too late. Sorry. Okay, the answer we were looking for there is Illinois. Illinois is the answer. All right, we have a math toss-up question. So pencil and paper ready, and I will read the question twice and have a little extra time to come up with the answer. If x and y vary inversely, and x equals 13.5 when y equals 3, what is the value of x when y equals 27? So again, if x and y vary inversely, and x equals 13.5 when y equals 3, what is the value of x? Frank?
21.5.
That's incorrect. Trexler, let me finish the question. Michaela?
121.5.
No, that's incorrect. Also, it is 1.5. 1.5. Okay. All right, and that sound tells us that we've come to the end of our second round. Please stay tuned for our lightning round after this break.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish. In your face, in your face.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to the Middle School Academic Derby Lightning Round. At the end of our second round, our score is Jacksonville Commons 20 and Trexler 24. We're going to now meet our new team members for Trexler Middle School.
Jolene Hutchison, 7th grade.
JT Sandlin, 8th grade.
All right. Now for our lightning round, we're going to be asking a series of 20 questions in 2 minutes. Remember, you must wait until I call your name before you answer, and any incorrect answers will give points to the other team. If nobody answers when I call time, we'll move on to the next question, and no penalty and no points for either team on that one. Make sure that you have your buzzers ready, and be sure also that you are speaking nice and clear and loud so that we can hear the answers that you guys are giving during our lightning round. And I will tell you that all of the answers in this round are past participles. So I'm going to give you a word, and you're going to tell me the past participle of the word that I give. Okay? All right, so pencils, or you don't really need pencils, do you, for this one? But buzzers ready. You do want to have those. And number 1, ask. Wyatt?
Asked.
Correct. Build. Jolene?
Built.
Correct. Catch. Frank?
Caught.
Correct. Dive. Haley?
Dove.
Incorrect. Fall. Nathan?
Fell.
Incorrect. Feel. Wyatt?
Felt.
Correct. Find. Haley?
Found.
Correct. Forget. Wyatt?
Forgot.
Correct. Get. Wyatt?
Got.
Correct. Hear. Haley?
Heard.
Correct. Swim. Nathan?
Swam.
Incorrect. Burst. Time. Help. Wyatt?
Helped.
Correct. Arise. Haley?
Arose.
Incorrect. Choose. Wyatt?
Chose.
Incorrect. Beat. Nathan?
Beaten.
Correct. Become. Frank?
Became.
Incorrect. Begin. Wyatt?
Began.
Incorrect. Bear. Haley?
Bore.
Correct. Sing. Wyatt?
Sang.
Incorrect. All right. Whew. Let's see. Dive is dived. They dived. Fall is fallen. Let's see. Swim is swum. They swum. Burst. Burst. That was a tricky one there. Arise, arisen. Choose, chosen. Become is also become. Begin is begun. And finally, sing would be sung. All right. That ends our final round, and we'll be right back with our final score after this break.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back. Our final score for today's match is Jacksonville Commons 38 and Trexler 44. We'd like to thank everybody for watching and ask you to please stay tuned for our next match featuring Hunters Creek and Jacksonville Commons. Thank you.
I teach because I absolutely enjoy working with children. I've always had the desire to make a positive impact in children's lives, to give back, to help future generations. That's why I chose the teaching profession. I enjoy the challenge of meeting a unique group of students year after year, watching them grow, having their light bulb moments. That's what keeps me keeping on.
Why career and technical education? Career and technical education gives high school students a head start on preparing for college and their careers. Onslow County Schools offers 3 technology towers that provide students with unique experiences in small learning communities. Southwest High School's new shop facilities provide the core foundation of the Advanced Automotive and Transportation Technology Tower. Students who are interested in automobiles, motorcycles, and other types of engine repair and design have hands-on training working with the latest tools and technology in the industry and can earn valuable certifications in the process that will make them job ready by graduation. Jacksonville High School is home to the Advanced Construction Technology Tower. Courses offered include carpentry, blueprint reading, and electrical trades. In fact, the newly expanded electrical trade shop allows students to develop skills that construction industries require when hiring. As demand increases for workers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics-based careers, Northside High School rises to the occasion with the Advanced Applied Technologies Tower. Courses such as alternative energy, architectural design, biotechnology, digital electronics, and robotics provide students the opportunity to delve deep into engineering and technology issues and provide real-world working experiences. Students, while still in high school, can acquire technology skills, making them knowledgeable and competent even before they complete a more formal education in these fields. The technology towers are not the only thing great about CTE. In fact, CTE students have higher graduation rates and college enrollment rates than non-CTE students. So why CTE? Why not CTE? Career and technology education, not just a head start, but education that works for Onslow County students.
Welcome to Middle School Academic Derby. I'm Brent Anderson and I'll be your moderator for today's match between the Panthers from Hunters Creek Middle School and the Knights from Jacksonville Commons Middle School. Let's get started by introducing our teams. We have our team from Hunters Creek Middle School, coached by Jeffrey Ardito.
Dante Jones, 8th grade.
Claudia Murphy, 6th grade.
Revan Brill, 7th grade.
Joshua Fairley, 7th grade.
And now our team from Jacksonville Commons, coached by Amanda Allen.
Ryan Wynn, 8th grade.
Francesca Soto, 6th grade.
Frank DeVore, 7th grade.
Zaya Smith Claxton, 8th grade.
All right. Now in our first round, we're going to ask 7 questions to each team. If the first team doesn't answer, the second team will have a chance at the same question. After the first team has had a chance to answer all of their questions, the second team will have the same opportunity. In our first round, we begin with our team on the top row, which is our team from Jacksonville Commons. So go ahead and get your buzzers ready, and we will start with a science question. During the construction of an indoor or outdoor concert hall, engineers use the science of sound to guide their task. What 9-letter noun that begins with an A designates this area of science? Zaya?
Amplifier.
No, that's incorrect. Hunters Creek? All right, the word we're looking for there is acoustics. Next, Jacksonville Commons, we have a history question for you. Identify the U.S. president who followed Calvin Coolidge in office and bore the brunt of the Great Depression with the American people. He was our 31st president. All right, Hunters Creek. All right, that president is Herbert Hoover. Next, we have a mathematics question. So it will probably involve a little computation on your part. So go ahead and get pencil and paper ready. I will read the question twice, and you'll have some time to come up, or extra time to come up with an answer. In the geometric sequence 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, ... what are the 6th and 7th terms? So again, in the geometric sequence, Frank?
32 and 64.
That is correct. All right. Next, we have an English question for you, Jacksonville Commons. In the sentence, quote, "Are you going to honor us with your presence at the dinner party tonight?" End quote. What is the correct spelling of the word presence? Dante?
P-R-E-S-C-E-N-S-E.
I'm afraid that's incorrect. It is P-R-E-S-E-N-C-E, presence. All right. Next, we have a literature question for you, Jacksonville Commons. Identify the 20th century female author whose nonfiction writings detailed the lives of African American life in the South. Their Eyes Were Watching God, her most highly regarded novel, was published in 1937. Okay, Jacksonville Commons, or excuse me, Hunters Creek. All right, that is Zora Neale Hurston. Next, a geography question for you, Jacksonville Commons. Which Canadian province's name literally translates to New Scotland? Frank?
Quebec.
No, that's incorrect. Hunters Creek? All right, that would be Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia. All right, next, and our final question for you, Jacksonville Commons, in this round. With which sport would one associate the terms knock, quiver, and fletchings? Joshua?
Archery.
Archery is correct. All right, now we're going to move to our questions for Hunters Creek. In Hunters Creek, we're going to begin you off with a history question. At the Civil War Battle of Hampton Roads that took place in March of 1862, which ironclad opposed the USS Monitor? All right, Jacksonville Commons. All right, the Monitor gets a lot of the press, but the Merrimack, or the CSS Virginia, was the other ironclad involved in that battle. Next, we have an English question for you, Hunters Creek. From which specific point of view is a story told when the narrator only knows the thoughts and feelings of one character and all... Oh, Ryan, this is not... This question is for Hunters Creek. So let me finish the question for you guys, Hunters Creek. And all other characters are described using pronouns such as they, he, and she. Joshua.
Third person limited.
That is correct. All right, we have a math question for you, Hunters Creek. So pencil and paper ready. I'll read the question twice, and you'll have some extra time to come up with the answer. Express the quotient of 1.25 times 10 squared and 5.0 times 10 cubed in standard scientific notation. So again, express the quotient of 1.25 times 10 to the second power, or 10 squared, and 5.0 times 10 to the third power, or 10 cubed, in standard scientific notation. Okay, Jacksonville Commons. All right, we're looking for 2.5 times 10 to the negative 2. Negative 2. All right, next we have a literature question for you here. This contemporary author's latest book has a radical twist. He built in a countdown clock that times out after 24 hours. Once time is up, the book self-destructs. Name this author of Private Vegas, the self-destructing book, and the Alex Cross series. All right, Jacksonville Commons. All right, that author's name is James Patterson. James Patterson. Next, a geography question for you, Hunters Creek. If your vacation itinerary includes the city of St. Augustine, followed by Cape Canaveral, which U.S. state will you be visiting? Okay, Jacksonville Commons. Frank.
Florida.
That is correct. Next, we have a science question for you, Hunters Creek. This substance forms the major part of the cell walls of vegetables and serves as bulk for the large intestine. Identify this fibrous material. Jacksonville Commons. All right, that is cellulose. Cellulose. And our final question for our first round is a trivia question for you, Hunters Creek. Identify the months of the year that contain exactly 30 days. All right, Jacksonville Commons. All right, we have April, June, September, and November with exactly 30 days in them. All right, that's the end of our first round. We'll be right back with our score after this break.
Why I teach? I teach because every day is different. Every day is a challenge, and every day brings something new to the table where I get to experience all kinds of different people, help all kinds of different students, hopefully not just in language arts, but in life as well. And that's why I originally got into teaching, was because I want to help people and hopefully spread a love of literature.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back to Middle School Academic Derby. After our first round, we've got a tight match. We are tied with Hunters Creek at 4 and Jacksonville Commons at 4. We're going to move now into our bonus round where either team may buzz in and answer the question. If the question is answered correctly, there will be 4 bonus questions asked in which the answer must be given to the captain of the team. We have some new team members, so let's introduce them now, beginning with Hunters Creek Middle School.
Jeremy Penson, 8th grade.
Ariana Brooks, 8th grade.
Nicia Medina, 6th grade.
Cassidy Roberts, 7th grade.
And now our new players for Jacksonville Commons.
Yasmin Daya, 6th grade.
Joshua Rojas, 7th grade.
Oh, Wyatt Revis, 8th grade.
Andy Huang, 8th grade.
All right. Now, Ariana, you're the captain for your team, and Wyatt, you're the captain for your team. Okay. So again, remind everybody, make sure that you're waiting for your name to be called before you ring in, and answer nice and clear and loud so that we can hear you, okay? All right, go ahead and pick up your buzzers, and we're going to start off this round with a trivia question. Each February, this famous rodent makes his prediction about the weather. Jeremy.
Groundhog.
That's incorrect. Let me finish the question for Jacksonville Commons about the weather on Groundhog Day. What is this famous creature's name? Wyatt, right at the bell.
Ralph.
That's incorrect. It was all over the news recently. Punxsutawney Phil. Punxsutawney Phil. All right, next we have a science toss-up question. Identify the element on the periodic table whose atomic symbol is Cr. Wyatt.
Chromium.
Chromium is correct. All right. Jacksonville Commons, here are your 4 bonus questions. For each of the following elements, identify its symbol found on the periodic table of the elements. I'm going to give you the element. You've got to give the symbol. Number 1, hafnium. Number 2, gold. Number 3, potassium. And number 4, radon.
Yeah, I think it is RD. Yeah, go as AU. As AU. AU's code. Okay.
Okay, why?
For number 1, we have HP. For number 2, we have AU. For number 3, we have P. And number 4, we have R.
Okay, number 2 was correct. All right, Ariana, anything for number 1, 3, or 4?
For number 3 we have K, and for number 4 we have R.
R? Okay, that is incorrect, but number 3 was correct. Okay, number 1, hafnium is HF, and radon is one more letter added to that, RA. RA for radon. All right, an English toss-up question for you. In English grammar, when an omission is made, a writer may choose to make the notation with 3 consecutive dots. By what name is this punctuation mark known? Wyatt, right at the bell.
Foreshadowing.
That's incorrect. It is known as, Hunters Creek. Okay, it is known as an ellipsis. An ellipsis. All right, next we have a history toss-up question for you. During which decade of the 20th century did the radio broadcast of H.G. Wells's War of the Worlds set off panic across America? Wyatt.
1970s.
Incorrect. Jeremy.
The 20th century? I mean the 20th decade? The second decade.
No, that's incorrect. It was one decade later than that, Jeremy. It was the 1930s, not the 1920s. Okay. All right, our next toss-up question for you is a literature question. Although published in 1980, this book did not hit the big screen until 1995. Identify the title of this novel by Lynn Reed Banks that centers on a young man named Omri and a gift he receives. Again, Wyatt right at the bell.
The Giver.
That's incorrect. Hunters Creek, anybody? Okay. The Indian in the Cupboard. The Indian in the Cupboard. Next, we have a science toss-up question for you. If you are suffering from cephalgia, what medical ailment is bothering you? Wyatt.
Your intestines.
Incorrect. Hunters Creek. All right. Cephalgia is better known as a headache. All right. Next, we have a trivia question for you. General trivia. A picture on a computer screen which represents a specific file, directory, window, option, or program that is activated by clicking on it is designated by which 4-letter noun? Nicia.
File.
Incorrect. Jacksonville Commons. All right, we click on icons, an icon. All right. Next, we have a math toss-up question for you. So pencil and paper ready. Read it twice and some extra time to come up with an answer. Find the sum of the measures of one angle of a regular quadrilateral and the total number of vertices in a heptagon. So again, find the sum of the measures of one angle of a regular quadrilateral and the total number of vertices in a heptagon. Cassidy.
96.
That's incorrect. Jacksonville Commons. Andy.
99.
That's also incorrect. You guys are all around it. 97. 97. HEP is 90. That's a 7 for that one. All right. Our next next toss-up question is going to be a science question for you. Which cellular process yields energy without using oxygen? Wyatt?
Photosynthesis.
That's incorrect. Let me finish the Ariana?
Cellular respiration.
That's incorrect also. It's most easily observed in foods when sugar is converted to carbon dioxide and alcohol by yeast, known as fermentation. Fermentation. All right, we have another math toss-up question for you. And this is a math terms question. So there is no calculation on this one, so it's looking for a math term. In an isosceles triangle, what name is given to the angle formed by the two legs? Andy?
Acute.
That's incorrect. Hunters Creek? All right, that is a vertex angle. The vertex angle is formed by the two legs. All right, we have a geography toss-up question for you now. If you were visiting Asunción, in which landlocked South American country adjacent to Argentina, Brazil, and Bolivia would you be? Jeremy?
Paraguay.
Paraguay is correct. All right, in Hunters Creek, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify each capital city of the given country. I'll give you the country, you give me the capital. Number 1, Egypt. Number 2, Spain. Number 3, Finland. And number 4, Poland. Oh, no, Joshua. All right, Ariana?
For number 1, we have Cairo. For number 2, we have Madrid. Number 3, we have Heinz. And number 4, we have Warsaw.
Number 1, 2, and 4 are correct. Wyatt, do you have anything for number 3?
No.
All right, you were on the right track with that one, Ariana. Helsinki is the capital of Finland. Helsinki, Finland. All right. Next, we have a toss-up question for you in history. This American entrepreneur was the first person to create an assembly line for manufacturing as a Andy?
Henry Ford.
Exactly, Henry Ford. And it was produced as a response to the need for mass production of his automobile in 1913. Henry Ford is the correct answer. And Jacksonville Commons, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify the inventor associated with each idea or object described. Number 1, scientist who created the process to heat milk in order to destroy harmful bacteria. Number 2, inventor who gave us the telephone. Number 3, inventor whose nickname was Wizard of Menlo Park. And number 4, German inventor who created the movable printing press. All right, why?
Okay, we have nothing for number 1. For number 2, we have Alexander Graham Bell. Number 3, we have Tesla, and number 4, we have Gutenberg.
What was number 4?
Gutenberg.
Okay, number 2 and number 4 were correct. Ariana, anything for number 1 or number 3? No. Okay, number 1, Louis Pasteur, pasteurization of milk. And let's see, number 3, the Wizard of Menlo Park is a nickname for Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison. All right, that sound tells us that we've come to the end of our second round. Please stay tuned for our lightning round and our score after this break.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's
Wow.
right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Welcome back to the Middle School Academic Derby Lightning Round. After our second round, we are still tied at 15, Hunters Creek 15 and Jacksonville Commons 15. We have one new player in this round, so let's meet him now from Jacksonville Commons Middle School.
Ivan Rivera, 8th grade.
All right. Now for our lightning round, we're going to be asking a series of 20 questions in 2 minutes. You must remember to wait until I call your name before you give an answer, and any incorrect answers will give points to the other team. Also nice and clear and loud for the answers. So go ahead and pick up your buzzers, and I will tell you that you are going to be asked to give the singular for each of the following plurals. So I'm going to tell you a word that is plural. We need the singular form of the word. Okay? Addenda. Time. Appendices. Ariana.
Appendix.
Correct. Axes. What?
Axe.
Incorrect. Bacteria. Ariana.
Bacteria.
Incorrect. Cacti. Ariana.
Cactus.
Correct. Crises. Wyatt.
Crisis.
Correct. Criteria. Time. Oh, Ivan.
Criterion.
Incorrect. Kibbutzim. Time. Indices. Time. Foci. Time. Women. Ariana.
Woman.
Correct. Leaves. Ariana.
Leaf.
Correct. Fungi. Wyatt.
Fungus.
Correct. Datum. Time. Species. Wyatt.
Species.
Incorrect. Phenomena. Time. Oh, right on the buzzer. Joshua.
Phenomenon.
Correct. Geese. Ariana.
Goose.
Correct. Teeth. Ariana.
Tooth.
Correct. Mouse. Ariana.
Mouth.
Incorrect. Or time. Loaves. Wyatt.
Loaf.
Correct. And those are our questions. All right. Addenda would be an addendum. Axes is axis. Bacteria is bacterium. Criteria would be criterion, not criterium, but criterion. Kibbutzim is a kibbutz. Indices is an index. Foci is focus. Datum would be data. Species is species. And I think we had mice and mouse, and that's it. All right. That ends our final round. We'll be right back with our final score after these announcements. Please stay tuned.
Dad's home!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back. Our final score for today's match is Hunters Creek 33 and Jacksonville Commons 25. We'd like to thank everybody for watching, and please stay tuned for our next match featuring Swansboro and Jacksonville Commons. Thank you.
Why career and technical education? Career and technical education gives high school students a head start on preparing for college and their careers. Onslow County Schools offers 3 technology towers that provide students with unique experiences in small learning communities. Southwest High School's new shop facilities provide the core foundation of the Advanced Automotive and Transportation Technology Tower. Students who are interested in automobiles, motorcycles, and other types of engine repair and design have hands-on training working with the latest tools and technology in the industry and can earn valuable certifications in the process that will make them job ready by graduation. Jacksonville High School is home to the Advanced Construction Technology Tower. Courses offered include carpentry, blueprint reading, and electrical trades. In fact, the newly expanded electrical trade shop allows students to develop skills that construction industries require when hiring. As demand increases for workers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics-based careers, Northside High School rises to the occasion with the Advanced Applied Technologies Tower. Courses such as alternative energy, architectural design, biotechnology, digital electronics, and robotics provide students the opportunity to delve deep into engineering and technology issues and provide real-world working experiences. Students, while still in high school, can acquire technology skills, making them knowledgeable and competent even before they complete a more formal education in these fields. The technology towers are not the only thing great about CTE. In fact, CTE students have higher graduation rates and college enrollment rates than non-CTE students. So why CTE? Why not CTE? Career and technology education, not just a head start, but education that works for Onslow County students.
Welcome to Middle School Academic Derby. I'm Brent Anderson and I'll be your moderator for today's match between the Pirates from Swansboro Middle School and the Knights from Jacksonville Commons. Let's go ahead and get started by introducing our teams. We're going to start with our team from Jacksonville Commons Middle School, coached by Amanda Allen.
Kevin Hong, 8th grade.
Francesca Soto, 6th grade.
Frank DeVoy, 7th grade.
Ivan Durera, 8th grade.
And now our team from Swansboro, coached by Retta Meyer and Rosemary Adams.
Ben Legassi, 8th grade.
Kyle Hardy, 8th grade.
Alyssa Sabella, 7th grade.
Dakota Ferguson, 6th grade.
All right. Now in our first round, we're going to ask 7 questions to each team. If the first team doesn't answer, the second team will have a chance at the same question. After the first team has had a chance to answer all of their questions, the second team will have the same opportunity. We're going to begin on our team, or with our team on the top row, and that is our team from Swansboro. So go ahead and get your buzzers ready. And your first question, Swansboro, is a geography question. Among the continents, which of the 7 is the highest in elevation? All right, Jacksonville Commons. Frank.
Asia.
Asia is incorrect. Antarctica. Antarctica is the highest. All right, next, Swansboro, is a math question. Okay, so again, pencil and paper ready, and I'll read the question twice and have a little bit of extra time to come up with the answer. A segment on the number line has one endpoint at -4 and the other endpoint at 26. What is the coordinate of the segment's midpoint? So again, a segment on the number line has one endpoint at -4 and the other endpoint at 26. What is the coordinate of the segment's midpoint? Ben.
11.
11 is correct. All right, next we have a literature question, Swansboro. Which 2-word phrase describes poetry such as "After the Sea Ship" by Walt Whitman that includes no rhyme scheme or regular meter? Alyssa.
Free verse.
Free verse is correct. Your next question is a history question. Which 2 former U.S. presidents died on the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1826? All right, Jacksonville Commons. All right, those two former presidents were Jefferson and John Adams. Next, an English question for you, Swansboro. When writing a sentence that includes a long list, which punctuation mark should precede the list? Kyle.
Comma.
Incorrect. Jacksonville Commons. Frank.
A colon.
Colon is correct. Next, we have a trivia question for you, Swansboro. Although macadamia nuts and coffee rank high on the list of cash crops of the Hawaiian Islands, commercial production of which two edible crops remain at the top and can be seen growing on large plantations? Jacksonville Commons? All right, we would see large plantations including sugar cane and pineapple. All right, and our final question for you, Swansboro, in this round is a science question. Which level of oceanic temperature zones completes the list? Surface zone, deep zone, and blank. Jacksonville Commons? Right. The one we'd look for there is the thermocline. All right, we're going to move now to Jacksonville Commons for your 7 questions, and we're going to start you off with a math question. Okay. In the XY plane, the velocity time graph of vehicle is drawn, and the result is a horizontal line. What type of velocity is represented by this graph? Kevin.
Constant.
Constant is correct. Constant velocity. All right, Jacksonville Commons, here's your next question, an English question for you. Classify the following sentence by its structure. I would have purchased the cheese that you like, but it was too expensive. All right, Swansboro? Alyssa?
Cause and effect?
No, that is a compound complex sentence. All right, Jacksonville Commons, your next question is a history question. Although not a long speech, it is still studied as one of the most important in world history. Identify this message that includes the line, quote, "The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, while it can never forget." Kevin.
Gettysburg Address.
The Gettysburg Address is correct. All right. Jacksonville Commons, your next question is a geography question. 4 U.S. states' names begin with the letter I. Identify the capitals of any 3 of these. Frank.
Des Moines.
Is there any more to that? Okay, that's incorrect. Swansboro? All right. We needed 3 capitals. That was one of them, Frank, but we needed 2 more to go along with that. Des Moines is the capital of Iowa, Springfield, Illinois, Indianapolis for Indiana, and Boise for Idaho. Okay? All right, our next question is a science question for you. A diving board and a wheelbarrow both exemplify which class of lever? Swansboro. Alyssa.
Third class?
No, not third, second. Second class levers. All right, next we have a trivia question for you, Jacksonville Commons. What 4-word phrase is used in the United States to remind residents which direction to change their clocks when transitioning to or from daylight savings time? Frank.
An hour?
No, not an hour. Swansboro? All right, the phrase is spring forward, fall backward. So you know which way to move your clocks. In the spring, we move them forward an hour. In the fall, we move them back an hour. All right, and our final question for this round, Jacksonville Commons, is a literature question. Afraid that she is crazy, 13-year-old Mia, who sees a special color with every letter, number, and sound, keeps this a secret until she becomes overwhelmed by school, changing relationships, and the death of her beloved cat, Mango. Identify this 2008 novel by Wendy Mass. Swansboro. All right, the novel is named A Mango-Shaped Space. All right, that's the end of our first round. We'll be right back with our score after this break.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Welcome back to Middle School Academic Derby. After our first round, we've got a close match, and our score is Swansboro 4 and Jacksonville Commons 6. We're going to move now into our bonus round where either team may buzz in and answer the question. If the question is answered correctly, there will be 4 bonus questions asked, which the answer must be given to the captain of the team. We have some new team members, so let's introduce them now, beginning with our team from Jacksonville Commons.
Nathan Wynn, 8th grade.
Wyatt Rebus, 8th grade.
Yasmin Daya, 6th grade.
Joshua Rojas, 7th grade.
And now our new players from Swansboro Middle.
Owen Schneider, 6th grade.
PJ Lewis, 8th grade.
Emma Sherman, 8th grade.
All right. Now, Wyatt, you're the captain for your team. And Alyssa, you're the captain for your team. All right, so go ahead and pick those buzzers up. Please remember to wait until I call your name to give an answer, and nice and loud so we can hear what the answers are, okay? All right, and we will get started with our first toss-up question, which is an English toss-up question. In the sentence, quote, "Why do you assign so much homework?" end quote, which word functions as the direct object? Nathan.
Homework.
Homework is correct. All right, Jacksonville Commons, here are your 4 bonus questions. I will read a sentence. You are to answer the grammar or usage question related to that sentence. So I'll read you a sentence, and then there's going to be a question kind of following the sentence that I'm going to read you. All right, number 1. The ball was hit by Samantha. What voice is used in this sentence? Number 2. Using the blowtorch made the job much easier. Which type of verbal functions as the subject? Number 3. The top algebra student for the term is Jackie. Identify the subject complement. And number 4, finishing first isn't always best. State the part of speech demonstrated by the word finishing. All right, what?
Number 1, we got adjective. Number 2, we got blowtorch. Number 3, we got Jackie. And number 4, we got present.
Okay, what was number 4 again?
Present.
Okay, number 3 you said?
Jackie.
Okay. Number 3 is correct. All right. Alyssa, anything for 1, 2, or 4?
For number 1, third person. For number 2, job. And for number 4, verb.
I'm afraid those are incorrect. Okay. The first one, the voice used in that sentence was passive, the passive voice. Gerund was the type of verbal, and subject was the word finishing for the 4th one. All right, we have a literature question for you. Although she began her writing career using the male pen name of A.M. Barnard, this American author eventually began to use her own name as she became a voice for women's movements and civil rights. Name this author of Little Women. All right, that author is Louisa May Alcott. All right, we have a music toss-up question for you. Buried in a pauper's grave in Vienna, Austria, which now famous composer died at the age of only 35, probably from complications of rheumatic fever? His well-known works include Don Giovanni, The Marriage of Figaro, and The Magic Flute. All right at the buzzer, what?
Mozart.
Mozart is correct. All right. All right, Jacksonville Commons, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify the composer of each of the following musical creations. The first letter of each composer's last name is provided. Okay, so I'm going to read you the name of the work and the first letter of his last name. Okay. Number 1, William Tell Overture, R. Number 2, The Messiah, H. Number 3, Appalachian Spring, C. And number 4, Lullaby, B. All right.
Okay.
What?
We don't have anything for R. For number 2, we have Handel. We don't have anything for number 3, and number 4, we have Beethoven.
Okay, so number 2 was?
Handel.
That is correct. Okay, and nothing for 3 or 4?
4 was Beethoven.
Okay, and that is incorrect. All right. So number 2 was correct for Jacksonville Commons for those bonus. Alyssa, anything for 1, 3, or 4?
No.
All right. The William Tell Overture by Rossini. Let's see. Handel was The Messiah. Appalachian Spring by Aaron Copland. And Lullaby by Johann Brahms. Okay. Next up, we have a history question for you. A few dates stand out in history amidst all the others. Everyone knows the significance of the year 1492. In American history, what is the significance of the date December 7, 1941? Wyatt?
Bombing of Pearl Harbor.
That is correct. All right, Jacksonville Commons, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify the year that each of these significant events took place in the world. Number 1, atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Number 2, Berlin Wall torn down. Number 3, John F. Kennedy assassinated. And number 4, Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. All right, what?
Number 1, we got 1945. Number 2, we got 1984. Number 3, we have 1963. And number 4, we have 1962.
Number 1 and number 3 were correct. All right, Alyssa, anything for number 2 or number 4?
For number 2, we have 1989, and number 4, 1961.
Number 2 was correct. All right. And Neil Armstrong walked on the moon in 1969. 1969. All right. Took a little longer than we were giving him credit for there. All right. Our next is a trivia toss-up question for you. Into which scientific class of animals are the well-known flipper, shamu, and winter grouped? Wyatt, right at the bell.
Mammals.
That is correct. All right. Jacksonville Commons, here are your 4 bonus questions. Identify the general kind of animal represented by each group of famous animals. Number 1, trigger, silver, secretariat. Number 2, lassie, Jip, and Toto. Number 3, Duchess, Coco, and Lucifer. And number 4, Bruce, Dory, and Nemo. All right, Wyatt.
Number 1 was mammal. We don't have anything for number 2. Number 3, we got dog. And number 4, we got fish.
All right, number 4 was correct. All right, Alyssa, anything for number 1, 2, or 3?
For number 1, we have equines. For number 2, dogs. And for number 3, cats.
And those are all correct. Okay. All right, we have next a science. Oh, sorry, we're not going to get to that question, so we'll save that one for another time. That bell tells us that we have come to the end of our second round. We'll be right back with our lightning round and our score after this break.
I think the reason I teach is to inspire students. I want them to know that they can do anything they want to do. If they try hard, they persevere, they can be anything they want to be, and I want to help them change the future.
Welcome back to Middle School Academic Derby Lightning Round. At the end of our second round, our score is Swansboro 12 and Jacksonville Commons 24. We have a new team member to meet for Swansboro, so let's meet them now.
Casey Butler, 8th grade.
All right. Now for our lightning round, we're going to be asking a series of 20 questions in 2 minutes. You must wait until I call your name before you answer, and any incorrect answers must or will give points to the other team. So make sure that you have your buzzers ready. Wait till I call that name and answer nice and loud when I read the question and you guys give me an answer. Okay, and all of the answers in this round begin with the letters X, Y, or Z. X, Y, or Z. Okay? Toy that rolls up and down a string. Casey.
Yo-yo.
Correct. To go fast. Wyatt.
To zoom.
Correct. 15th letter in Old Greek. Wyatt.
Y.
Incorrect. A very large number. Time. Chevron pattern. Time. Center of an egg. Kevin.
Yolk.
Correct. Southern term for everyone. Casey.
Y'all.
Correct. Company that makes copiers. Time. 24th letter of the alphabet. Kevin.
Y.
Incorrect. Relaxing exercise combined with breathing. Wyatt.
Yoga.
Correct. A geographical area or a state of consciousness. Time. To sing loudly with different pitches. Frank.
Yodel.
Correct. Undead human corpses. Casey.
Zombie.
Correct. Percussion instrument struck with a mallet. Ben.
Xylophone.
Correct. Fungi that makes bread rise. Alyssa.
Yeast.
Correct. Green summer squash. Wyatt.
Zucchini.
Correct. To show you are tired with an open mouth. Ben.
Yawn.
Correct. Currency in China. Wyatt.
Yen.
Correct. Large pleasure boat. Casey.
Yacht.
Correct. Color combining with blue to make green. Wyatt.
Yellow.
Correct. And that's our questions. All right. The 15th letter in Old Greek is psi, xi. Zillion is a very large number. Zigzag is a chevron pattern. Let's see. Xerox makes copiers. The 24th letter of the alphabet is X. X. And let's see. Zone is a geographical area or a state of consciousness. All right. That ends our final round. We'll be right back with our final score after this break. Please stay tuned.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back. Our final score for today's match is Swansboro 30 and Jacksonville Commons 38. We'd like to thank everybody for joining us on Academic Derby, and for all of us with Onslow County Schools, thank you for watching and have a good evening.